Hey guys, Miss Rivera here, and today we're starting lesson number 6, and it is all on radian measures. So, today's lesson is all about angles. To review how to measure angles from 0 degrees to 360. Place the correct angle measurement in the degrees next to each line segment below. The first few are done for you. So, we've done this before. Remember when we talked about the unit circle, and we were able to complete the entire unit circle. We did it in degrees, we did it in radians, and we found different segment lengths, I believe, the x and y coordinates that correspond to these. So for the do now, you are going to complete the rest of the degrees, right? So we know that this is 0 degrees, here is 180, up here is 90, right? Each of these is 90 degrees, so it goes from 0 to 90 to 180 to 270. Then right back for a full revolution is 360. Just so we know, right? And this is all if we're going in a positive direction. So we're assuming here to complete this, you're just going to go into that positive direction. And I want you to also recall, just in case, just remember that also if you go the other way, there are negative angles. So this is negative, right? So if you go clockwise, that's a negative direction. But if you go counterclockwise, that is a positive direction. So these are positive angles. Right, so we can have a negative 30 degrees. It would be over here. This is a positive 30. So we're just going to, I only want you to do it in the positive direction. So 30, 45, 60, 90, right? What would come after that? 180. And maybe you have your notes with you. You can always use your notes or look up on the unit circle if you're having trouble with this. All right, so after you do the warm-up, number 2 says, imagine you are finding the measure of the length of your shoelace. Your ruler is 6 inches long, and you find that it takes you 4 ruler lengths. So 4 of those 6 inches. So how long is your entire shoelace, right? And it seems simple, right? Enough. Well, this is just helping you think of relationships. So now imagine that you are trying to measure your circumference of a circle and your ruler is the radius, right? And you find that in order to do the entire circumference, it takes you 2.5 radius lengths, right? 2 times pi radius lengths. And remember, pi is not just a symbol. Pi represents 3.14. Right? And so when we're saying 2 times pi, it's about, right, and it's 3.14, and there's, infinitely many numbers after that. Where we're saying it's about 6.28 something, right? So it's not if we just say 6.28, that's not the exact circumference, but 2 pi gives us the exact value. So since there's 360 degrees in a circle, that means that 2 pi is equal to 360. That is our conversion rate. So you're going to use this equation or this relationship and proportional reasoning to help you fill in the blanks. So we know that 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. So how many radians are in 180 degrees? And if you said, well, then we would have to, in order to figure that out, we have to divide both sides by 2. You're absolutely correct, right? 180 is half of 360, so half of 2 pi is just 1 pi or pi. Okay, now we think about 90 degrees. What is the relationship to 360? Well, 90 degrees is a fourth of 360. So it is pi over 4 radians. Okay, and you can keep doing that. And now you do have that chart, if you have that worksheet with you, you do have this already completed out. So you can go ahead and look at that to help you out, or you can just use that proportional reasoning, right? 45 degrees, what is its relation to 360? What would you have to do? Pi over what is going to be your answer? And then you keep doing these. Okay, let's look at number 4. What does this say? We know that 120 plus 60 degrees is equal to 180. Rewrite this equation using radians, right? So once you have that chart filled out, you're just going to substitute in those. Once you figure out what 120 degrees is in radians, plus whatever 60 degrees is, and that's all going to equal pi, right? And then see if that makes sense when you do it. All right, and then you can do that for B and C of question 4. Question 5 says we know that 60 degrees is equal to, that should say pi over 3. You'll probably see it better on yours. I just converted this to a Word file so I could write on it. Below is one way to calculate the radian measure of 120 degrees, right? You can do 2 times 60 degrees, which is 120, which is 2 times pi over 3, which is 2 pi over 3. Use this method to calculate radians of 180, right? So 180 is 2 times 90, right? And 90 is pi over. So you're going to do that for A and B, that kind of thought process. All right, and then you continue on with the worksheet. See if you have any questions, you let me know. If there's something that I missed that you didn't get to see or you don't understand in the video, let me know so that I can explain it. So again, just like the other worksheets, there's 13 questions. We did a few of them together. So, all right, that's it. Let me know if you need anything.